Hey everybody, Chief here. Thanks for swinging by today's podcast stream. I'm just going to let things kind of catch up here with the stream and make sure everything is good to go. Hopefully all of you are enjoying your weekend, especially with that triple honor points that's going on in the game. Hopefully you guys are getting a few of the honor crates. Let me know if the audio sounds good. What's up, Hang Lei, Ivano, God of War. Can't really, what is it, Squad of Hell? Wizard. Alright. BigJJ says it sounds good, it must be good. So, alright, so, this was the stream I originally planned for last Sunday. Unfortunately, I wasn't feeling very well, and there was kind of, you know, some things going on, so I just postponed it. So here we are, bringing it to you this Sunday. And for those of you that aren't familiar with this stream, this is somewhat of a podcast-style stream, but with a lot of viewer interactions. So I really want to hear from you guys, some of your thoughts and opinions on some of the discussion topics that we're discussing today. And, you know, if you guys have specific questions or whatnot, go ahead and type it in chat, and I'll do my best to get through all of them and make sure that we go ahead and address it. This really is kind of more a platform for you guys to have a voice than it is for me. Anyway, moving on. So with today's topics for the stream, update 5.2. I'm not sure if Steam has got the update just yet, but I know Android and iOS have had it for a little while now, and the new event. So we're going to be talking about the update, we're going to be talking about the new event called Among the Stars, and then there is some new content on test server that I also kind of wanted to touch on, and that is the new robots Behemoth Phantom, the Rebalance, and so far for the Rebalance the only thing we know about is the Raven and the machine guns, and then of course the new active module called Phase Shift. And for guests today, I have from Android, we've got Islander and BigJJ. Most of you guys probably are familiar with them. They also have a couple of very popular YouTube channels here, so I'm looking forward to having this discussion with them. And of course, we've got from iOS, Dark Warrior from Clan Box. I think most of you are also familiar with him. He's very well known throughout YouTube, and he's just a very knowledgeable player, so really good to have all three of these guys on with me. But without any further discussion, let me go ahead and bring them into the stream, and we will get things kicked off. Hey, what's up, fellas? Hello.
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 All right.
Can I say it, Eddie? How the hell are you?
There you go. How the hell are you?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I mentioned to the viewers that we're going to be discussing update 5.2, the new event, Among the Stars, and some of the things from test server, like the two new robots, Behemoth Phantom, and the new module Phase Shifts, and the little bit of the rebalance that they've kind of shared with us so far, which is just the machine guns and the Raven. So sounds like quite a bit to talk about, but you know, before we get started, if you guys wouldn't mind first just you know, give yourselves just a little introduction for the few viewers that might not know who you are.
Sure. I'm BigJJ, former leader of the clan. Well, it used to be Lumicore IC, and now is HC. I handed over lead about a year ago, and I've had a YouTube channel since like January of last year, and just been having a good time with it and playing War Robots probably for over 3 years now. So
Right on. Well, glad to have you on the stream.
thanks, buddy.
And let's see, Dark Warrior.
Been playing for about 2 years. I am the chief twerking officer. And a lot of fun, and that's about it.
Right on. And Islander.
How the hell are you? I'm nder. I've been with this game just about from the giddy up. I mean, I came in probably about, I don't know, 6 or 8 months after it came in. I was within about the first, I don't know, 100,000 downloads, where it seemed like every time you dropped, you were playing the exact same guys. So I've been with this game for quite a while now. Been in IC, started YouTubing. Actually, BigJJ right there across the board is the one that got me into YouTubing. You know, it was something that I wanted to do. And when I saw him go, the fire took off inside of me to start doing videos as well. Now I do videos. He does more live streaming. We're kind of on the opposite sides of the pond. But it was Big J that got me into YouTubing.
Heck yeah.
Well, glad that he did. I know you've got a pretty good channel, and you're very well known for telling people how it is. So,
oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
Please don't hold back here. So,
okay,
that's definitely Eddie.
Yeah,
he'll give it to you straight, man.
Yeah.
All right, so there's kind of a lot of ground to cover with update 5.2. The update itself didn't have, you know, like a whole ton of stuff with it. But let me actually just switch screens here for some of my viewers. Just let it kind of rotate through and let them see some of the different stuff that we're going to be talking about. But you know, I think the biggest change with 5.2 was the honor point system.
Yes.
Yes.
So what are you guys' thoughts on the honor point system, just in general?
You know, I kind of feel like it's better. I feel like I'm getting to a champion crate faster, actually. Do you feel that way, Eddie?
I'll be honest, guys. I mean, for me, it is flowing really, really fast.
Yeah.
But as I take a look at it from a broader angle, I can get to it really quick because of the amount of honor points that I'm getting, okay? But what I like to do is I like to talk to everybody, okay? And it's not the same across the board. Not everybody's getting the same amount of honor points as we're getting if you're finishing, you know, 1, 2, or 3 in the mod that you're in. So basically from basic to master, you're gonna fly right through that. But once you get to master, past master, it seems like people are really getting stalled there, okay? Some of us are not having a problem, but you know, there's a whole lot more of us in this community than you know, the few that are in the upper leagues. And that's where it seems to be the problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true, because like there's probably 11 things that you can do that'll grant honor, and basically 5 of those, when I'm looking at it, are come out on top as the first person with either beacons captured, damage dealt, robots destroyed, durability repaired, or tokens earned. So yeah, that can kind of conflict with, you know, people who aren't quite as, you know, geared or experienced and stuff like that. So yeah.
So what are your thoughts on it, Brian?
From my experience, I'm just kind of flying through it. I mean, I could see how it would be difficult for lower level players. I mean, I think you're definitely going to do well if you squat a lot. I think the solo players are going to be the ones who are hurt the most.
Right. Well, and squatting is kind of another issue in and of itself with the new honor point system, because it does seem to favor smaller squads vice larger squads, for the very reason I think BigJJ was talking about, with the you know, the top players of the category getting those. Well, at least in Champion League, it's 400 points normally. And then I think most of those categories do award points for second and maybe even third place. But it's not nearly as many points. And when you're rolling a full squad, I mean, that means half your squad's just going to be, you know, without points. It is what it is. Me personally, I'm still getting my chest pretty quickly. I think I'm in agreement with you guys that you know, at least in Champion League, if you're doing well, you're kind of gonna roll through pretty good. But for the, you know, the average players, I think there's gonna be a problem with it. There's a big jump from Master to the Champion crate. You can actually get like something like 2.5 Master crates in the same time or number of points it takes to get one Champion crate. So it might also kind of favor tankers. It's, you know, so I'm definitely kind of concerned about that. But at the same time, I also kind of understand why they might have lowered the requirement for the earlier crates. And that was because at lower levels, it's stepped down. You know, you don't get as many points in lower leagues that you do in the higher leagues. So basically, the higher league, the more points you're going to get. But you know, somebody in Gold League is only going to get a fraction of the points a Champion League player is going to get. So they kind of do have to lower the requirement for like a gold crate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I'll iterate right here, and I don't mean to interrupt, would be, you know, the amount of the distance between Master and Champion is a little bit too great. It needs to be reduced. I mean, I know there needs to be a wider gap, you know, but the fact that you can get 2.5 Master crates before you can get to Champion, okay, and then you're gonna tack on all the amount of silver that you earned on the way to Master. The numbers are way off because the values at the Master crate did not improve. They're still 14.6 million or 14.8 million to get there. But the amount of time you get there, if you were to do 3 Master crates, the numbers are way off. So I mean, I can understand maybe 530,000 to get there, but 650 is just a stretch.
Right.
What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, that seems like a bit much, but then again, like we were saying, you know, the Champion League players have it a lot easier, kind of, if they run, you know, duo or solo to get those honor points. To be honest, I mean, that's just what we were saying, and if I'm understanding you correctly, that's what you mean, right? Am I misinterpreting what you're saying? Like, you're saying the gap between Masters and Champion crates too much, or?
Yeah, I think it's too much. I mean,
I honestly don't think it's too much, though, because people who are, you know, Champion League players, and, you know, people like, you know, us with the full MK2 hangers and everything, like I said, I feel like I'm getting to the Champion crate a lot faster, and, you know, we're getting more honor points than, you know, say the people that are working up to Masters. So I really have no problem with that, and I could see why they would be punishing kind of the system when it comes to squads, and squads not being able to get as many honor points, because, I mean, let's be honest, when you're in squad, you're pretty much just crushing everybody unless you're up against an equal squad or whatever, you know, and then the game's somewhat challenging. But that's kind of why everybody is running duo or solo right now, is because the system, the way everything works, you know, it's almost, the game's almost more fun just to run duo or solo and, you know, grind out the honor points and the silver and you know, all that stuff. So I don't know, that's kind of how I feel about it.
The only thing I'll reiterate, like the players that are playing solo, especially right now with the Triple Honor weekend, I think I did a solo match, and I brought in with probably about 35,000 cups in one game. So the triple point system is good, but if you scratch down by 3, you're looking anywhere between 12 to 14 if you're coming in first. I'm not sure what is down on the bottom part of that barrel or what it is, but I know if you're running solo, you know, FFA is definitely a solid place to be, because you don't have to share the purse with anybody else but yourself.
Right. Well, and another thing to mention too, is I think most players are they're used to playing how they've been playing. They prioritize damage, you know, they have their hanger set up how they've had it, you know, based on the previous system. But the new system is favoring people that have a variety in their hanger. because they're giving top points for damage, top points for beacons, top points for healing.
Yeah.
So if you don't run a Wayland, a Tier, or a Mender, you have zero chance of getting those 400 points. So, you know,
That's true.
I think the players, as you know, to some degree, do need to make some adjustments to their own, you know, play style or hangers to kind of go with this. And based on the dev stream, it's really going to be more important for players to do that based on the next update, because they were alluding to the fact that stacking, you know, first, second, third, fourth, and so on after each match is then going to be based on honor points rather than, because right now it's still based on damage.
Right.
But after the next update, they're going to change it to where it is based on your honor points gained. So that's going to be pretty important, because that's going to affect things like gold, silver payouts. So if you're not willing to make some adjustments to your hanger to at least understand how to get the points, and you know what can you do to get you know to set yourself up for the most success, then I think you're just going to be struggling.
Hey Brian, on iOS, is it any different? How are things working on the iOS side? Is that pretty similar to what we're doing on Android?
Yeah, it looks like we lost him in comms. He might have had a connection issue or something.
Okay.
So what was your question?
If things are a little bit different, and I know you're in iOS as well, Chief, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do the numbers kind of sound similar to what we're doing in Android?
Well, I think so. For the most part, I know with the triple honor weekend, I mean, I was hitting, you know, over 20,000, you know, just in squad. So I think it's probably relatively the same. I know you usually play free for all. I'm not much of a free for all player, so I don't know if your 35K came off of a free for all game. But
yes, it is.
So, I mean, at least in, you know, Beacon Rush and Team Deathmatch, you know, it's, I mean, I think the numbers are definitely going to be stacking up, you know, roughly the same.
Right.
I just wanted to say something about what people were talking about in chat about how earning gold is definitely a problem, and you know there's really a huge lack thereof of being able to earn gold in the game. And if you look at the patch notes, they actually say here that silver and gold rewards still work the old way for now. You get silver for damage and gold for beacons, but in the end, we plan to rebuild most of the reward system on honor to make it more fair, exciting, and clear. So maybe they will. You know, it sounds like they obviously are going to change how we are going to earn the gold. Maybe it won't be the increased, but you know, I think it would really be awesome if Pixonic were to, you know, increase the amount of gold you can earn in game, because right now it's just crazy. You can't earn gold at all. Well,
I think about like 3 dev streams back, they did say that they were going to be coming up with a new way of getting gold in the game. They still haven't really specified what that is. I don't know if it's with having to do with the honor points or maybe a new game. I know Eddie put out a video about this a while back. You know, is it, you know, are they going to be, you know, bringing back the card game, or, you know, who knows what they're going to do, but they are working on it. The problem is that anything with Pixonic, it seems like they have their priorities in a different direction than the players.
Well, yeah.
So it's difficult to say when it's going to happen, but you know, it is going to be addressed, or at least they've said it's on the agenda to be addressed.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying, well, yeah, look, they're gonna, you know, fix it. I'm more saying like at least they're addressing the issue like at some point. You know, hopefully. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they do, because right now, I mean, there's no like guaranteed way to get gold. I mean, unless you know, like what I'm saying is like you play a match, right? You're gonna get some form of silver at the end of the game, But unless you're like, you know, top beacons or top damage, first, second, and third in damage, like you're not going to get any gold from a game. So just even like a small amount, just guaranteed at the end of each match, even if you win, lose, whatever. So I don't know. I just think that would be a good thing.
We talked about that last time. And of course, if y'all remember the early days of the Royale, you know, where you get your Royale tokens and you go and, you know, you get those big old beautiful fat chests of 3,500 or 1,500 or 5,000 gold, you know, depending on which one you're playing. You know, gold was just so easy to generate at that time, you know, and that's just kind of been deleted from the game. And something similar to that needs to find a way to where you're going to reward the players for playing the game, you know, by whether it be a Royale token or, you know, a roll the dice game, whatever game you want to make it, you know, make it to where gold is obtainable and much more in the form than opening a special delivery and only getting 300 gold. You know, that doesn't cut the mustard for the demands of the game now. All right, the demands of the game of yesteryear and now are two different animals altogether.
Yeah, the gap's really closing more and more between free to play and you know, casual players and those who have big wallets and are wallet warriors such as myself. And it's very unfortunate because, you know, the matchmaking right now is just garbage, you know. So I mean, like, we in HC have found a lot of ways to try to still make the game fun, because that's why I had taken a break back, you know, back in last November. You know, I was just like done for a little while because I was just so tired of having to play in squad and just always getting randoms and you know, just winning game after game really quickly, and it was just over and there was just no fun involved. So what HC's been doing is like trying to organize inter-clan battles, you know, where we do 6v6 or 3v3 and we try to time drop each other. That way we all still get rewards and stuff, and that's actually made the game fun, and I find myself playing more often lately because of that fact. So, but just got to find ways to make it fun, because it's just no fun when you're so overpowered, you know, because we want to play at a competitive level, you know, in War Robots. Like, that's what we want to do, but I just really wish there was more people on that level. And it's just like you said, the gap's just getting bigger and bigger, dude, because the demand is so much higher for resources and getting stuff leveled and everything. So
right, they've especially with gold has been the biggest hit in most of the recent releases of content, with the premium modules and then the you know, new pilots. It's just, you need a lot of gold in order to actually progress.
Yeah, you do.
So, but yeah, hopefully those you know, will be addressed sooner than later. But if we can just move a little bit more onto the topic of the recent update. Now, along with the a recent update also came, and you mentioned just now talking about gold, the special delivery crates, and I know you did a live stream opening of special delivery crates. So it does seem that at least you know, this event, what is it called, Among the Stars, they are kind of sticking with the theme for the event. Well, not the theme, but the
system, maybe.
Yeah, the system for the events that seem to be more popular. With starting with what was it, the when did they start this type of an event? Was it the Lunar New Year? I think was the first one that they ran like this. And it seemed to be very popular, at least with most of the players. So, I mean, are you guys so far satisfied with this event?
Yeah, because, you know, it takes me back to the very first time they came out with where you would buy some sort of different currency and spend it on opening like chests or rolling or whatever. Like, so I think the first one was like October of 2016, and it was the Halloween event. And I remember spending like $100 and I got absolutely nothing. And I was like, wow, I spent $100 on all these pumpkins or whatever, and I got absolutely jack all, you know? And, you know, like, you actually get a return, if not more, than what you put into buying these tokens, these coins, whatever, and rolling. I mean, sure, you may not always get what you want, but when you look at the comparison to, I always look at like that comparison, like, okay, I put in $100 for 3,600 coins. What is everything I won worth compared to that? So like everything I won is more than $100, then it was worth my while. You know, that's how I kind of look at it, because then you're getting a better deal.
Right. And
I'm going to say that they have definitely improved that system. As far as the events we're having now. Now, the black market of the day before, where Jay was talking about, I thought the black market was much better. If somebody spent $100, you know, I think it was stupendous, if I'm not mistaken. I think he rolled through like 4 or 5 super chests with $100. It just got all kinds of crazy stuff, you know, because the value system. Now the value system has decreased, and the black market, and they're leaning more towards some newer type of event. But, you know, if we're going to rewind back to this past Halloween, where the event was just horrible, all right? Mm-hmm. And Halloween, I mean, Christmas after that was a gorgeous setting, and everything was nice, you know, but the event was really, really bad, okay? Then we jump up to the Lunar New Year, where the event was really good. Prizes were awesome. They were giving meta prizes, but there was just no way to get a hold of them. Nobody could get enough tokens to open up any type of significant crates, okay? Right. So then we speed up to our last event, and it's awesome. Everybody got a chance at something good, and everybody cashed in. This event has been pretty much the same. I think I haven't spent maybe $10, and I've already walked out with an Aries, and I've already walked out with the Avalanche. So are the prizes they're giving away good? Yeah, they're not giving away you know, Orkins and Thunders and, you know, Norcoms and stuff like that. The prizes they're giving away are
legit. Yeah,
they're legit. Right. So they got to get a thumbs up. You know, if it was bad, it was horrible, but it's not. It's really good.
I remember back in the day for those other events, the black market and stuff, like, you would win so much junk, and then I literally spent an hour one time selling stuff to clear my inventory. Like, I was like, gosh, I want a mullet. Yay, now I got to waste, you know, 10 seconds for my slow game that's like, you know, taking forever to sell this item. I was like, this is ridiculous. But now the stuff you win is like legit. And I will definitely say, like, being able to win 100 tokens a day, like, and just turning around and spending that and getting 1,500 power cells, or, I mean, even if you get like 300 gold, like, still that's pretty decent. That was free. Yeah. Like, right now the free reward for, you know, earning these coins is like pretty decent. So.
Right. And I know, was it it was actually, I think, the Lunar New Year event. Man, you had to actually put a lot of effort to get enough coins to even get a roll. So with the I think it was with their anniversary event, they, you know, guaranteed, you know, with a little bit of effort, you could at least get 1 roll a day, which was huge, you know, because that means that even the more casual players had an opportunity to get some loot. And I'll tell you, I mean, I get questions like multiple times a day about, you know, hey, you know, you know, what can I do? I'm not winning anything. I'm just getting power cells. And, you know, I tell them the same thing. Stop rolling once a day. Just stop rolling them every day. Earn them every day, but hold off. The system, you know, it's percentage based. So, you know, if you only get 1 roll and then you're done, you know, chances are you're gonna get the lame prize. But if you save up 3 or 4 rolls and you roll them out, you're likely to get something decent. So, but anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there just because it popped in my head. I mean,
yeah, I got you. I mean, I did my 1 free spin on one day and pull out the Aries. You know, I was like, that's classic, man. That's just awesome. You know, it's a solid little bot to have where it's in the meta. So I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, and I get screenshots from subscribers or friends every day of showing me the stuff they won. You know, so is Pixonic giving out the good prizes? Yeah, bud, they are giving out the good prizes, and everybody Majority, I think I got 1 or 2 that says I just have bad luck. I don't got nothing. It's like, it's not possible.
Yeah, I mean, think back to other events too, Eddie. Like, remember when they first came out with, like, when Dashbots came out and they were, you know, giving out the Kamiho and the Bulgasari and the Haichi. Like, you literally, people were just trying to manipulate the system and trying to find ways around, you know, stuff to basically earn those robots, and it was ruining everybody's experience. And it was so hard to earn that robot, you know, like,
right.
And it was crazy, you know. I mean, yeah.
We actually kicked a couple of guys out of the clan for doing.
Yeah, we did. I was the leader at that time. I remember I kicked a couple guys because they were really manipulating the system, and I just didn't feel like it was right. And you know, at the time, I was really bothered by it, and they were pretty rude about some stuff. But yeah, anyways, like it just was lame, dude. Like, and I spent like, you know, 200 today actually, but you know, like I got 1 Ares, 1 Igniter, 2 Hussars. I got, you know, like tons of power cells, probably like 60 something thousand power cells. You know, like 2,000 gold. You know, lots of components. You know, it's definitely worth it now. Let's just say that. Like before, I've always felt like, okay, I spent all this money. It's a huge gamble. Now it doesn't really feel like it's a huge gamble as far as the return, but you may not always get what you want, obviously. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people complaining about the power cells, and I'll tell you what, if you're complaining about getting power cells, give them to me, because
yeah,
that's gold. I mean, that's just straight up gold. I mean, that's 1,100 gold to buy 3,000 power cells.
Yep,
and I mean,
exactly.
if you're into squatting a lot, I mean, that's a day, you know. So yeah, I'm happy with power cells. I'll tell you that much. But I can understand a little disappointment with people getting, you know, the components. But, you know, then again, you know, if you don't want the components, sell them for silver. You know, but...
real quick, Chief, real quick. Those of y'all that are in the stream, a lot of y'all Evil Achiever, I saw Punish there, I saw Kimmy, and all the rest of y'all that are in there, go ahead and put in the comment section, what have you won so far in this event? You know, have you won the Avalanche? Have you won the Hussar? Have you won an Ares? Have you got a pilot? You know, a module? I want to read what everybody else is getting. I just love to see what everybody else wins. That's part of the game. Is that not only what I got, but hey, what did you get? You know, you opened up your box of cereal. What was your toy? You know, that type of deal. Well, in the comment section, y'all put that.
So talking about the prizes, what do you guys think of the new weapons in there? I mean, well, I guess the weapons, but also the skins, you know, for the weapons.
I thought the skin for the, what is it called? The Hussar? What's it called exactly? The Hussar?
Hussar.
The heavy one is the Avalanche.
Hussar. Okay. Yeah, like I thought that was pretty legit. I mean, big old eagle, you know. The Igniter one was kind of meh, but you know, and obviously the Avalanche, you know, big old American.
That thing is giant.
You can't go wrong with that.
I absolutely love the Hussar, man. I saw it when they posted out, and I saw that little Easter egg on the, and when it was sitting on the Spectre, and I just said, I mean, I immediately locked onto that. I was like, is that a new skip? I said, man, the American Bald Eagle. Oh hell yeah! You know, this is a 4th of July event. It has nothing to do with Amongst the Stars. This is all straight up 4th of July.
Yeah, baby.
You know, and I was in awe when I saw it. I have yet to win one. If I win 4, I don't care if I win 1 or 4. I just want them. You know, I may never upgrade it and use it, but I have it. You know,
yeah.
I just want it because it just has that American Bald Eagle, and man, it just you know, it's a really good touch to the game coming from Big Sonic to put those type of weapons or skins, you know, that are from an opposite country. I just thought it was an awesome touch.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, I think they look great, and the weapons themselves are actually pretty good. I mean, they're not.
I was, yeah.
They're not. I mean, the Blaze was kind of cool, you know, but limited. You know, it really sees limited gameplay. But you know, these things actually do decent damage. You know, you might have to level them up some, but you know, there's a lot more potential for them actually finding their way to, you know, some of the top league hangers. So,
you know, the Ember was always one of my favorite weapons, and probably one of the longest standing weapons next to like Tyrans that I've used. And for the longest time, I was always like, when are they going to come out with a medium member? When are they going to come out with it? Gosh, just come out with it already. And now they've come out with it, and it's still good. And I actually really look forward to throwing it on some stuff and seeing how it does. And I probably plan on using actually the blaze and igniters on Ares just to see how that goes. I really want to try that out.
Right. And, you know, just the fact that, you know, they're coming up with these weapons for different hard points, you know, that we're already familiar with, I think is kind of cool because,
yeah,
you know, like you've been saying, you know, I want that medium ember. Well, now we've got it. Of course, I don't really look forward to a heavy shock train, but
no. Dude, I think I don't think they'll come out with any more shock train hard points, dude. I really don't. Like, nobody likes them. Pixonic knows everybody hated them for so long, and so I don't know. If they were to come out with a heavy or light shock train, I don't know, dude. I'd be very surprised.
Right.
I would too. I would really do. The headache we went through with the shock train, you know, and you know, this is what I mentioned in the last video. Just touching on the shock train real quick. When we tested the shock train and we were done testing the shock train, although we knew it was a bad weapon, it was pretty decently balanced in the test server and ready to come to the live server, okay? But when that shock train went from level 8 to max level, it was a completely different animal altogether. And this is something that I brought up, that they have the level 8 as being the, I guess, the right spot for testing items. And, you know, I kind of disagreed with that, or I disagree with it now even more because, you know, what you have at level 8, you know, and I think I used the alligator analogy. Okay, if I have a pet alligator and he's 6 inches long, you know, and he bites my finger, he might draw some blood, but he ain't gonna do no damage. He ain't gonna hurt me, all right? But that alligator, that same little 6-inch alligator, at fully grown at 13 feet, is a completely different animal altogether. He will ruin your mashed potatoes all day long, you know? So that's why I don't like the testing at level 8. I think they need to increase it, at least to MK112. You know, let's see what kind of damage this thing is going to do in the upper levels. Okay, that way when you have a weapon like the shock train or a bot like the Ares, and it seems to be okay on the test server, when you get it to max up, it's not really okay, is it? You know, it changes the complexity of the game a lot. And that's why I think that they need to do maybe 2 levels of testing. One at level 8 if they want to get an idea for it. But let's see what kind of monster this thing will turn into at MK212.
Right. So touching back on the event prizes, a couple of things that surprised me when the event first came out and I saw what the prizes were. That was, well, we knew they were going to be coming out with 2 new legendary pilots, which, you know, I think one of them is pretty good. The other one is kind of so-so. But, you know, just the fact that they actually threw other legendary pilots in there, and what really made me happy was they put modules in there to win.
Yeah, cool. I actually won an anti-control module today, and I won an Adrian Chong, and then what was the other one? The female pilot for Fenrir. I won that pilot today. Yeah, and then I won like 2 Ares pilots, but whatever. They really need to fix how much I can sell those for, because I don't need some of those. And you know, you pay 2,500 gold, and I was only going to get 50,000 gold for selling one of them. I was pretty upset about that. I'm just throwing that out there, anyways.
Yeah, the return or the sell price on them is pretty low.
Yeah,
but it's pretty exciting, and hopefully I'm hopeful anyway. And I've given this feedback to Pixonic, is that you know, they should add legendary pilots and premium modules to the gold chest. I don't know why it's not in the black market. I mean, they sell for sometimes cheaper than some of the robots that they're giving away. You know, so why wouldn't they be in there? I think a lot of the community would benefit more if they did have the opportunity to at least win them in the black market.
Yeah, the fact that they put those modules in there, you know, and they're the good modules, you know, the anti-control and the last stand, you know, that's a 5,000 gold price. That is legit. You know, that's why I said, you know, they hit a home run with these new type of events that they're doing. Okay, and everybody gets a chance to win them. Okay, and that's even better. It's one thing to have good prizes, you know, but that's like being outside of a restaurant looking in and watching everybody else eating. Yeah, everything inside is great, but I can't afford it, you know. But this way, you know, it's to come in and take a little taste for yourself, you know, and you have the opportunity to walk out with something good. You know, you get a chance at the buffet.
Right. But I mean, so overall, how would do you really think they, you know, kind of hit it out of the ballpark with this this event so far, or is there more room for improvement?
The last two events have felt really good to me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I agree.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're fine. I talk here all the time.
The only thing I could say that they could do better, and is what they mentioned in the live stream on the last event. You know, during the Lunar New Year, you know, the event stopped at a certain point, and they did mention, you know, this time we're going to add it where you can play, and the more you play, the more you win. You know, I think that if somebody is going out there and they're playing the game and they're watching the video ads and, you know, they're kicking butt, you know, they should have more opportunity to win than just one spin a day. If you're out there and you're playing this game for 8-10 hours and you're putting in the time into their game, you know, the reward should be continuing to come. You know, not just stop it. Oh, you got one spin a day and you're done. You know, if they could up that ante to 2 or 3 or, you know, potentially limitless, as long as you're in their game, playing their game, I think that would be a huge boost to the player base and to the morale of the players to get in there and be able to get some good stuff.
Right. I definitely agree with you on those points. And there was one thing that, you know, I think the only negative thing, and I don't know that it's so much negative, but I think it was just maybe unforeseen when they introduced the new honor point system and then started the event. They are not, you know, they're not making this event requirements, the tasks, any less for the lower league players, even though they earn fewer honor points per game. So it's making it very difficult for some of the lower league players to complete the tasks outside of this weekend. Obviously, the triple weekend, it shouldn't be difficult for anybody to complete the tasks, but you know, to get 25,000 honor points from a silver league player, yeah, I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, touching on that, I really wish they would make it easier for those new players to climb the ladder, you know, per se, because, you know, somebody coming into the game right now, you know, I've had friends that are like, you know, I want to play the game with you. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll play with you. You know, like I play with my son's little account, but I mean, they're so far behind it. Like it'll take forever to catch up. I just wish there was some sort of quicker catch up mechanic. I don't know. It's frustrating. Yeah. And I feel bad for those guys, you know, because if it's an endless hard grind, like what's the retention going to be like, you know, like it's going to, how long is it going to take me to get where these guys are? You know, like you've been playing for years, you know? So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's actually too easy to move up the ranks. I mean, I have a couple of alts, and I mean, my one alt I started initially because I wanted to have some gold diamond league, you know, kind of content for my channel, and I just started playing it, not even a lot. Next thing I knew, I was in Master League, and I was like, oh, well, screw this. Let me see, you know, let me see if I can make it to Champion League with level 5 robots, and I did. It's ridiculous. You go so fast.
That right there is the problem. Yes, people are moving up in rank, okay? What they're not moving up is in the current meta gear.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So you get to Champion League and, you know, you're going to run into BigJJ out on the field, and, you know, you've been dominating up to that point, and then you come across somebody that's just going to, you know, wipe the floor with you, and your morale will shoot down really quick. And you're going to see the weapons he has. So, and I made a video just recently comparing it to another game, and that was the Supercell game, where the amount of resources they give you, amount of the stuff you need to upgrade is there. Okay, what you don't have is the time. Okay, the time to upgrade it, and that's where people start going to make their purchases. I mean, imagine that you could go out and do a battle pass, and at the end of this battle pass, you've won 500 million silver. Cool, I can upgrade everything, but I can only upgrade something that's going to take me 2 weeks. Okay, well, you know what? Let me buy a little bit of gold because I got, 40 billion silver in my purse, but I don't want to wait the time it's going to cost me to upgrade it. And that's where Supercell jumped back up into the ranks of, along with, okay, you need gold or you need gems to get up there. We're going to sell you gems at really good prices. Okay. Yeah. Great dollar deals, great $5 deals, amazing $10 deals. Okay. So now they have all these $5 bills and $10 bills coming into the game. And you can see where on the ladder where they jumped from number like 58 to now they're back to the top 3. They're giving the players all the resources they need. And we're going to sell you what you need to upgrade at a very cheap price. Now you have all kinds of players with maxed out villages, yep. Okay, and they allow them to move up really quick for a small amount. And at the same time, their bankroll is fatter than ever.
Right.
Well,
and just real quick, let me reiterate. I wasn't saying like as far as people moving up the league, like I was just saying gear and level, wise as far as that stuff is hard to catch up. I wasn't saying like leagues because that seems pretty easy because I haven't leveled it all. But my son's account when I leveled that, it was pretty quick. But as far as like leveling the actual gear and robots and weapons and stuff, like it's ridiculous like how long it'll take, and you have to really choose when you're leveling up brand new. Like, do I keep leveling this stuff that isn't current meta, or just like wasting silver, or it's just like there's a lot of choices you got to make that can really affect your end game big time.
And well, Adrian mentioned in the chat, with his alt, that he plays over on Android, sometimes it's more of a decision of, okay, do I use my silver to upgrade something or build something in the workshop?
Exactly, that's what I was saying. Yep.
But I mean, I also have a like really small baby account that I started, and man, it's a lose-lose for a new player at this point, because by the time you get up to unlock the workshop, you only get 1 slot. And then, okay, you build something, and then you might get 2 slots. But you start building things, and you unlock the different robots and weapons. The problem is, there is, you go from using machine gun weapons that were basically on the robots when you bought them, to, now all of a sudden you're in Diamond League or Expert League, and you have to have a meta weapon in order to survive. But there is no in between. The Orkans, the Terrans, they don't exist anymore for new players unless you use cash to buy them. That's it. That's the only way to get them. Cash. You can't build them, or you might get lucky, winning one in a silver chest, but doubtful. So I mean, there's no intermediate area to really help a new player. So yeah, retention's going to go down for new players. That's for sure. Sorry. I know we kind of went sidetracked there. Apologize to everybody for that.
That is honestly a big issue, and that's where a lot of my frustration lies. Is having played this game for so long now, just looking at the retention of, people getting into the game. It's
Yeah, it's tough. And hopefully, that's something that Pixonic will address sooner than later. But, I don't know. I think they're kind of juggling things right now, trying to keep, the existing player base happy. But at the same time, how can they reinvigorate some of the newer gameplay? And I think they're kind of testing the waters with all this lore stuff that they're bringing into the game, and the stories and different things like that. But who knows what's actually going to go on.
Right.
So community challenge was supposed to start this week as part of the event. It got postponed due to technical issues, I'm assuming. I'm not exactly sure why it was postponed, and we really don't know what the community challenge is. Any of you guys heard anything?
I saw the announcement that they stopped, that it was postponed, but I don't know what it was.
No, I mean, I've done a digging around, and I go to the sources that I have that where I normally get my rumors and stuff like that, and everybody is just tight-lipped on it. We were supposed to get that email that morning, and I actually stayed up, waiting till about 7:45 that morning. Playing, I grinded all night long. I said, I'm just gonna wait, get that email because I want to rock that video out as soon as we get the information.
Yeah, I remember you talking to you that night.
We get the message from Big Sonic saying, sorry guys, the email didn't go out, and we apologize, but we're gonna back it up. And we're like, really, bro? After all that? So, right. But no, the only thing I was guessing, and I made a thing, let's just, for argument's sake, they put a huge purse of prizes, 100 gajillion silver and X amount of gold, and and the community needs to achieve a certain task as a whole. Okay, whether it be an honor point system or a damage ranking or whatever it is going to be, and if we meet this goal, everybody in the community would take a slice of that pie, and that was just something I was kind of guessing at. There's no confirmation on that whatsoever. That's what it's going to be, or even close. That was just a wild guess on my part.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would kind of make sense because that's something that they did recently with their community. I don't know, whatever they were doing with their YouTube channel, where the more subscriptions they got, the community had to all come together, give X number of subs to their channel, and then the community would get more bots in a giveaway or a paint thing or whatever. There's a whole bunch of different things. So I mean, I could definitely see them taking that same idea, kind of like you explained it, and bringing it to the game where community do this, earn 15 billion honor points or something crazy, and then somehow we'll all get some kind of a reward from it. And I think Adrian mentioned in chat there that maybe it got pulled back because Facebook and Steam haven't got the update yet, so you'd be taking one whole platform out of being able to participate in a community event. So that would kind of make sense to withhold it from that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move off of the update and the event. But if the viewers, if you guys got questions, anything, opinions, please still just type it up in the chat there. We are reading it. But let's talk about the test server, some recent robots, new modules, a little bit of rebalance, and what do we get with all that?
I think Eddie's gonna have to hit on that more. No, you hit on that more because you're the one that actually ran the test server, didn't you?
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't get the opportunity to. So
I did the test server, and I did it all weekend long. And to start off with the test server, just to start off with, was something I don't like about the test server is it takes you probably 25 to 30 minutes to set up your hangar with the pilots and with the modules and everything. By the time you're done setting it all up, you play a few games. Okay, well now I want to test out this, and now I want to test out the bot. So I have actually spent a day and a half. I think I put out like 5 videos. I'm going to put out like, between it's all said and done, I'll put out like 6 or 7 videos. It's going to take me a total of 48 hours just to do all that, just changing out pilots and changing out skills. I think that needs to come equipped. That's just a side part on it. Okay, as far, I'm going to start off probably with the Behemoth. Okay, because this is the bot that was going to get or was getting a lot of hype, coming in with the 4 heavies. Just an absolute monster. 198 hit point, 198,000 hit points at level 8. That comes out to about 27,500 per level. So by the time you get that sucker to MK212, it should be a pretty fat, chunky little beast. Okay. The problem is that I saw in this test server, and I tested out 5 of them. On the first game, I got completely wrecked, and it's there in my video where I get completely wrecked by a Loki. Came in stealth. Once he got a little bit of help, and I couldn't try to target him anymore. I was having to look somewhere else to fight that fight, and he would just come out of his little cloak and just lit me. He carved me up like a Thanksgiving Day turkey. It was so funny. I was like, that's not possible, to get wrecked by this little bot like that. No way. I got 4 heavies on my bad boy. but he was running a circle so fast I could not target him. He was using my own little tactics against me. It was awesome. It was funny. On the second game, it was now June, and it was punished them across the map for me, and he tore up three of my bots, three of my mammoths. I mean my mammoths, three of my behemoths within now June before I finally got him down. Okay, the damage on those output games were incredibly low. It takes way too long to get in and out of the bastion mode. Okay, to where it needs to set up. If they're going to use this particular bot in the game, it needs to be able to use the 4 weapons on the move. Okay, having to put yourself in a personal lockdown position, has you at a massive disadvantage. And something like a Loki, a Pursuer, a Fast Bot, or now June is going to eat your lunch. And I'll go ahead and shut up on that point. Y'all jump in.
No, I agree. I mean, I've run the last couple of test servers as well, and the Behemoth, I mean, right now in its current form, it's a novelty. I mean, it's huge. It's got tons of health. It carries 4 heavies, all this firepower. But like you said, you got taken to task with a Loki. So that should be enough for most people to understand how bad it is to, you can't really keep it alive unless you're sitting, 800, 1100 meters away and just sniping with it.
That's gonna be about what it's always good for.
Yep.
I mean, I was able to get a couple of matches in where, I was able to, play some mid range with it. But yeah, I mean, the first, time I got targeted by an Aljun, an Ares, or no, there weren't Ares this weekend, but last weekend there were. But any high DPS bot, I was toast. There was nothing I could do. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what their idea is behind the robot. Maybe that's something that we can try and touch base with Pixonic, see if they're willing to tell us, what is your idea for this robot? What are you wanting it to do? Because a developer has to have an idea. They dreamed it up, and what did they see its role being? Because right now it's really not that good of a. I mean, it's a decent sniper. I mean, I'll give you that. But still, even as a sniper, if you can't move, you're gonna run into problems, because there are so many fast robots on the field right now, and everybody's got a pilot that's running, Roadhog. So you got to be able to move. So yeah, it needs some work. But for the viewers out there, if you guys haven't had a chance to jump on the test server, seriously, get on there and actually do some testing. Fill out the feedback form. If you have the ability, record a video, throw it up on YouTube on your own channel. They'll give you like 500 gold or something for doing it. But seriously, I mean, give them feedback, because I mean, we can tell you all day long that it kind of is a crappy bot, but you need to find out for yourselves, and maybe you guys have ideas that we're not thinking of. But
real quick, you got a question in there. What do y'all think about the matchmaking? In my opinion, it's bad. That comes Prince. I'm gonna say Prince. I can't read the first name. Prince. This is an answer for you, bud. Matchmaking in general, and I'm gonna be straight honest with you guys. I'm not gonna sugarcoat a damn thing, and I disagree. Right now that the matchmaking is bad. I'm gonna say. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the matchmaking is pretty decent. And the only reason I'm going to say this, all right, because as Jay said earlier, us and HC do some time dropping so we can match against each other, okay? Now, we have dropped 6 guys at a time on a free-for-all, okay? And all 6 of HC land into that match. That tells me that the matchmaking system found 6 guys that were identical. In Hanger, MK2 strength, everything is maxed out. We're going to pit these 6 guys against each other. And it happened for 3, 4, 5 games in a row. Okay. Now, if matchmaking was off and at the point where it was before, if we all dropped 6 together, we would probably end up in 6 different matches, being for the reason that Pixonic wanted, I guess, higher players to play against lower players. Lower players see the golden gun. I want the golden gun. I need to have what they have so I can do what they can do. Okay. Now it's changed a little bit. Okay. So if HC time drops, with SOS or with Gods or whatever, we seem to be finding each other very often. So if top players are dropping at the exact same time, and what the problem here is time. You know, I might play for an hour a day, so 23 hours a day, I'm not on the game. So that means it's get somebody else to get somebody else without dragging the search time longer than 30, 40 seconds, where people get frustrated having to wait so long to drop into a game. So has it improved? Yes, it have. Because if it had not improved, the 6 time droppers that dropped in would have found 6 different games. They would not have found each other. And for it to happen 4 or 5 times in a row tells me that the system that they're working on is better. It all depends, when are these players on the game? And that's my opinion. I know I'm going to get a lot of lashback on that, but that is straight up the way I see it as of right now.
You know, I'm going to agree, Eddie, and I've said that for a long time too. People are like, well, matchmaking sucks, you know, and I'm like, well, those of us who are top end champion league, you know, are they going to make us wait in queue for 10, 20 minutes just to get, you know, a very similar squad to go against, you know? And, you know, the problem isn't matchmaking. The problem is there is a very little majority of people who are on that level that are just crushing all the squad, you know, random people. So, you know, but like Adrian just said too, he said, you know, when solo or duo, the matchmaking feels pretty good to me too, as well.
I'll tell you, at least on the iOS side of the house, they have definitely made noticeable improvements. I mean, you know, last season especially, and then again more so this season, it's just completely different than previous seasons where, you know, you could drop in and it didn't matter if you were running solo and duo. I mean, if there was a full, you know, S rank clan loaded up, you know, you were going against them. It didn't matter. But now it is different. You know, I find that if we're in a partial squad, more often than not, we'll get matched against a partial squad rather than a full squad. You know, so there are definitely some noticeable differences, but at least on the iOS side of the house, I think it can still be pretty rough for some of the regular players that, you know, they will frequently go against, you know, some of the heavy hitters out there. And that might be player pool, you know, the pool size on iOS, vice Android, you know, that could be a big difference.
Yeah, it's all about the pool size at that particular moment. Right. Real quick, Prince, I know you want to go into this topic a little bit more, and feel free to hit me up on Facebook. You can contact me on Messenger, Prince. Look me up, Eddie Ayala, EDDIEAYALA. I got to be a friend of yours somewhere. Hit me up on Messenger, and I'll be happy to go over all that matchmaking and give you a lot more time than I can right now. So we kind of got off topic with the test part of it, so I apologize for that.
It's all good. But all right, refocus back into it. So we're talking about the you know, test server, some of the new content that we're testing over there. We touched base on the Behemoth, and now what about the Phantom? That thing is it's fun. I'll tell you that right now.
It's fun. You know, it's straight up a fun bot. Okay, the fact that I got 15 seconds to run around a quarter, drop my marker, run around the quarter, engage you. Find myself, okay, you know what? I just made a military blunder. I should not have done this. I'm going to tap my little button. I'm going to go right back to where I was, and I am safe, okay? Or I run in. I have the advantage. I do what I need to do. I get a beacon. Here comes the red team. They're coming in 3 against me. You know what? I need to get out of here. Tap that button, and I am gone. It was a fun bot for the test server. How good will it be on the live server? I don't like it for the live game. As far as it being fun, it was definitely fun. Bringing it into the game is going to create a frustration. You know, you're going to hear the community blow up, calling each other out as being, let's say, afraid or a chicken. I'm not going to use the words that will come out on Facebook, but you know, you're going to see a lot of people attacking each other. It's going to go to it's a no skill bot. You can't stand and fight. You know, and you know, I can already see that type of animosity in the community build up against each other when one person has it and the other person doesn't, and you know, so on will go the rotation of past metas. I like it. It's fun, no doubt. I would give them a 2 thumbs up on it as being a very creative bot. But in the bigger picture, what will this do if it comes to the live server? I think it could be a potential problem. You know, as far as creating frustration, and we already have the Loki, all right, to troll us. We don't need Loki 2.0. That's just my opinion. You go ahead with it now.
Right, and I don't disagree with you. I can see a whole bunch of exploits, problems. I guess I wasn't really even thinking ahead to, you know, people calling each other out on Facebook and social media and stuff. But I can agree that is probably going to happen if this comes to the live server. But I think tactically, I mean, there is just so many things you could do with that robot.
It was so fun, Chief. It was so fun. It was a fun bot, man. I enjoyed it. Right. So I don't know.
I don't know if I don't know that the game is ready for something that has that kind of an ability. I think.
Well, let's be honest. The player base wants it, and you know, this whole teleporting has been requested for a very long time. So you know, I might lose a little popularity in saying don't bring it because I see the potential problems for it. But as far as the player base being ready for it, yeah, they are more than ready for it, Chief. I know a lot of people want it.
Right, wanting it is not quite what I mean by ready for it. I think what I mean more so is, well, let's face it. I mean, we can have a fairly toxic community sometimes.
Yeah.
And when you have a robot that is that unique in its ability, I mean, it's not like it's just kind of last standing or something like that. You know, it's not like it's, you know, using a twist to an ability that's already in the game. I mean, this thing is just so far out there compared to everything else that, well, one, it's crazy fast, and that already makes it fairly strong in this game. They recently upgraded its onboard firepower this weekend. Right. It has a medium hard point now instead of just 3 lights. But you know, you combine, you know, decent firepower with super fast, you know, running and the ability to just say, oh cool, I'm out of here.
Yep.
But it's not just so much the defensive play for it. Man, you could do so many things to play offensively with that robot. You know, I mean, I was playing one match and I was running around trying to run from somebody who was chasing me down on Rome, and I was over in the city and I was going around one of the buildings, and I just dropped my beacon. Kept running. I don't know if he saw it or didn't see it. It didn't matter. I just waited a second, hit the button, and I was behind him and killed him. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, there's just, I mean, and I'd be okay if we were just going to use it for regular gameplay like that. But I'm more afraid of the things I can't think to do with it that people are going to. And yeah, I can see it being exploited like crazy.
Let me tell you this, just real quick, Chief. If you think the Ares train is a problem, okay, wait till you get a train of these, you know, coming at you one at a time, firing off shots, disappearing. Here comes the next one, firing off shots, disappearing, you know, and you got multiple attackers coming in and they just disappear. You know, you're going to be like the guy that is swatting at bees. I don't know which one to swing at. They're all stinging me. It's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. One is fun, and when you go against one is great. When you get an organized team together, they are going to give you frustrations beyond belief, and that's kind of where every time I play a bot, is what will my squad, what will my clan do if we get a hold of 6 of these? You know, and that's where I'll be coming from.
Right. I think people are concerned for BigJJ's well-being here.
I'm just listening. I didn't get an opportunity to play this test server. You know, I was just looking at my email. I didn't even get the. Usually, I'll get the email like every time.
I think they stopped sending the email.
So what is it? What are they doing now?
It's been on Facebook. I mean, as long as I've been playing this game, the only way to get it was from Facebook.
The Facebook test server page. Go there every Friday, and you download it on Friday. You know,
I've always just gone off the email.
Yeah, they stopped allowing people to register for emails before I started playing. So, but yeah, no, I don't know. Cool bot. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess we could ask some of the viewers what their opinions are. I don't know how many people have had a chance to actually play with it, but man, there's just that's just gonna be some nasty stuff happening. So I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not real excited with the new robots that are coming out, and I'm even less excited with this new active module, the phase shift.
Yeah, guys. That you know what? I'm gonna let you touch base on that first before I jump in, because I have a tendency to ramble, Chief.
All right. Well, for those of you that haven't had a chance to find out what phase shift is all about, it's an active module, and based on what it looks like on test server, it's probably going to cost 20 power cells to use, so on the cheaper end of it. And it's got 6-second duration, 20-second reuse, and what happens is you click the module, and it makes your bot go like semi-invisible. Like basically any bullet or weapon that's shot at you just passes right through. It's not like a last stand or a shield or anything. It won't bounce off of you. So if there's like people behind you, you know, on your team or whatever, it'll pass right through you and hit them. But it removes all negative effects from you. It also prevents you from firing during that 6 seconds. So you can't shoot, but you also can't heal, and that was something that I tested, because it specifically said you can't heal allies. Right. But so I tested it using a nder. You also can't heal yourself.
Can't heal yourself, right? So
it lets you activate your heal, but it doesn't heal anybody. So I don't know what the point of even having it activated is. But anyway, so no healing, no damage, but it's 6 seconds of total invulnerability. Like nothing legit can hit you at all. You know, they can't suppress you, nothing. So it's actually in some ways better than a last stand, because it's one, it lasts longer, and two, it's you know, people aren't gonna still be shooting at you, you know, because it's just passing right through you, and you know, I mean that's huge. But yeah, so that's the basics of the module itself. I don't like it. We've got the last stand, 4.5 seconds. You use this thing, you have the right pilot skills with it. I mean, you're looking at a lot of time of a robot being completely invulnerable.
Yeah.
And with the robots that we have in the game right now, that's just it's just not right. It's not going to work. So what are your feelings?
I'm going to be honest. Like, I kind of like the idea of it, to be, you know, like completely honest. I mean, obviously 20 seconds, for every 20 seconds you get 6 seconds of pure immunity. That's definitely too short of a cooldown, but to give people that opportunity with an active module that you don't have to buy like a last stand, or you don't have to have an Ares, you know, which, let's be honest, is kind of the same thing. You know, I like the idea. I just think that 20 seconds is just not, you know, long enough. I mean, it's literally a 100% escape, you know, get to safety, kind of almost like a last stand, you know, and everybody would have access to it. So
I agree with those points for sure. 100%. I agree with everything you just said.
Yep.
Okay. So now
that's my 2 cents.
In a long time standing, you know, me and Jay always seem to disagree on just about almost everything, and we have some fun conversations in our time. I completely disagree. I can't stand that module. Now, it did what it was supposed to do, and of course, I'm always looking out for the potential problems of the game. You're gonna put this particular module, all right, and you're gonna stack it with a last stand. You're gonna stack it with anti-control. All right, and now you have the phase shift, okay? And you put that setup on an Ares, okay? Not only does he have his shield, okay, he's also going to have, if he gets into a pickle, he's going to activate that. He's got another 6 seconds his cooldown time is dramatically reduced. Okay, he still has the anti-control. You won't be able to suppress him, and you know, the last stand, that area is going to be around for a while. This is gonna stack problems on top of problems that we already have in the game, in my opinion. You let me put that on my pursuer. You know, I'm going to run at you. I'm going to be in cloak. I'm going to have an anti-control. You cannot lock me down. If you do somehow get the advantage on me a little bit, I'm going to press my little phase shift, and I'm going to run away and hide for the next round, where I'm going to come at you again. You know, if they bring it to the game, I'm definitely getting it, okay? And I'm definitely going to tear things up with it. But I would prefer not to have it.
You know, Eddie, I definitely agree with you on that point, stacking problems on problems. Because realistically, that is what they're doing. Adrian made a good point in here. He said rather than he would rather they remove phase shift and change the last stand to that, and you know, give last stand as an active module if you already have it, I guess, and you know, then yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably a good idea because, like you said, they're just stacking problem on problem. It seems like they keep coming out with new content to just stack on top of that old content to like counter that or whatever, instead of trying to balance out what they already have. So yeah, I agree with that.
Adrian is 100% correct. I mean, if they remove that would be awesome. The problem lies with that is we do that have spent 5,000 gold on top of 5,000 gold on top of 5,000 gold to get their, you know, their last stand in place.
You're starting to sound a bit like a robot there, Eddie.
You're starting to break up a little bit, Eddie.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. I think I'm having a problem here. I'm going to disconnect and reconnect. Give me one.
Sure. Now, I mentioned, and I'll let him talk when he gets back on, but I mentioned that I agreed with what JJ was saying, that giving people access to something like that for a cheap price, I thought that was a great idea, you know, and that's true. But I think it's going to be a lot of problems because, and when you just do the math, you add that module up with the last stand, how you can use it. You can use the pilot abilities. There's so many different things. I mean, you're looking at, you know, 20 plus seconds of being completely invulnerable for a robot. That's just too much. How's it working there?
I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
okay,
better.
Good. Yeah, what I was saying was, you know, moving it, that is a great idea from Adrian. I do like it, but the problem lies in the investment that people have already made into the last stand. You know, spending the 5,000 gold on top of 5,000 gold, spending money or using up their gold to get it. What do you do to compensate them if you make that move?
Mm-hmm. Well, it would more or less, I mean, you're still getting to keep. It would be just more or less just nerfing or changing the last stand effect. And I mean, that would open up a, you know, a passive module. I don't know. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but you know, oh, there's just so many problems.
I guess you say keep it as passive.
Yeah.
And got you. And remove from the active. I got you. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'd be okay, I guess, if they switched the well, and even if they did change the last stand module to have the same exact effects as the phase shift, and just kept it as a passive module. Gosh, it's still better than the last stand because it clears and prevents any negative, you know, effects from going on you. You know, right now somebody could have a small last stand and you could just shoot them with vipers, and your corrosion is going to stay on them, and as soon as their last stand is finished, then they're still going to die. So it would in some ways still be better than the current last stand effect. But
yeah. But, you know, we're kind of starting off from it, you know, because that's nowhere in the works and be close to being done. You know, so we would have to address the issue at hand. What if it does come to the live server? You know, what ripple you're going to have in the community is there, you know, and once again, you're going to have people calling out, you know, getting ugly, getting toxic on social media, you know, calling people names because they use it and stuff like that.
it's one item in the game that I really think with less stamina when we tested it, it doesn't need to be in the game. It doesn't need. We don't need that in the game.
Right, and I agree with you. And that's pretty much my feedback to Pixonic on the phase shift. It doesn't need to be in the game with what we already have in the game anyway.
Yeah, things feel like they're just really getting blown out of proportion. Like it's just really taken off into a direction where it's just there's so much that's just almost out of control, it feels like. But
Right. All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and start wrapping it up here. I think the only other thing I had on the agenda to kind of talk about was Rebalance. But really, the headlining part of the Rebalance was supposed to be the Ares nerf, which, as most people know, that was postponed by a week because of some technical issues. They weren't able to get it done in time for us to test it. But instead, the only thing they had for us on the Rebalance was the machine guns and the Raven. But I think maybe we should hold that discussion for maybe another stream after we have a little bit more to talk about on the actual Rebalance. I mean, what do you guys think?
yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
All right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start wrapping it up. I want to thank everybody that came by the stream. Thank all the viewers for participating in the stream. If you guys asked questions, hopefully we were able to get to them. Shared your opinion, hopefully we were able to address that as well. And thank you to BigJJ and Islander for being on the show. I know everybody's kind of got some busy schedules. But if you guys have any last minute questions, I'll keep the chat going here for a few more minutes and let JJ and Islander, if they have any closing words or anything that they want to say, and we'll try to address any last minute questions that the viewers might have.
The last minute question I see here is, all of the guys here in the stream, have you spent a fair bit of money in the game, and is it due to other people doing the same thing? Yes, I have spent quite a bit of money. And it is probably because you others are doing the same thing. So yes, to answer your question, I hope that, because it's a lot. Yes.
In the ranks of a BigJJ among spending, but I am definitely a pocket change player. Okay, I will go out and look for the good gold. They had the boosters in there. I will buy the premium every month. But nowhere along the lines of, I just can't hold.
Eddie, you're a robot.
What robot?
Well, yeah, thanks for having me today. It was fun just doing this, discussion with you guys and trying to answer questions and stuff. And thanks for inviting me, Chief. And if you ever need me again in the future, just hit me up. I'd be happy to step in. So,
sure, I appreciate that. And to answer on my part, yes, I spend money on my main account. I have 2 alt accounts I don't spend anything on, just so I can kind of still see how it is to play without spending. But with this account, I've also been very lucky that I do have some channel sponsors that also help with when there's new content and things like that that come out. So yeah, spending is definitely something that I think most of us in the YouTube community do. And I think to summarize what Islander was saying is kinda, but not as much as JJ.
Yeah, and definitely, like you said, my YouTube channel has really helped out. I've gotten my fair share of donations, and people have been very helpful. And hey, JJ, get this. And so I thank all my fans and people who come to the stream and donate, and even everybody who just comes and hangs out with me. It's great, and I really appreciate it. So
Well, I found out what my robot problem was.
Oh, did you now, Eddie? What was that?
Pocket case player. You know, I can't afford to drop a whole lot of money on the game, but I do buy the premium. You know, I do buy the good gold deals, or you know, the booster little packs when they come out. So yeah, I'll spend some change on the game. You know, I just can't really afford to drop a whole lot of money on it.
I will say, a lot of people, you know, the most return you can get out of this game for spending money would have to be premium. Yeah, without a doubt, paying, you know, at a minimum, if you really want to get into War Robots, get premium, because for $15 a month, you get half the time off your upgrades. You get a vast more amount of silver, and, you know, it's just like, it's kind of a no-brainer. I don't know. That's just, you really should consider it if you're wanting to spend money and get involved into War Robots, because that'll help you get where you need to be a lot quicker.
And it's a whole lot cheaper than the movie tickets for you know, if you spent this number of hours at the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, and you're right there, and I've said that before as well. You know, this game is entertainment, and you know, I don't care if you go to a movie theater or a show or a football game. You know, are any of those entertainment items free? No, they're not. No matter where you go for entertainment, somebody's going to pay somebody something for it.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't want any of the viewers to think that, you know, you have to spend to be good at the game. No, you don't. Yeah. Trust me. You know, like I said, I have a couple alt accounts, and yes, it's more frustrating. Yes, it takes longer to get there, but you can still get there. You just have to be realistic. You know, if you don't want to spend, or you can't spend, that's fine. Just, you know, just understand that the people that do spend might get things a little bit faster than you, or might get to a higher level a little bit sooner. So
enter the giveaway, guys. Enter all the giveaways you can.
Yeah, I know so many people win prizes that I know. They're like, hey, JJ, I won this. I'm like, hey, grats. You know, like, it sounds like they're really giving out a lot of prizes. So it's not like just, you know, thin odds. Like, if you just show up to a stream, I know Adrian, you know, will do his giveaways, and, you know, on Facebook, you just show up and you pretty much can win something. So.
Right. Okay. Speaking of donations and stuff like that, kind, much appreciated. Thank you very much. By the way, sorry I missed that. He said hello to the panel earlier.
Hey, Kind, my man. What's up, buddy? I miss you.
What's up, buddy? How you doing, my man?
Kind's also been a very generous person to me. He's
awesome, guy. Man. He really is.
Yeah, I've taken some time to sit down and talk with him in Discord. He's a great guy.
Real quick, Adrian. Yeah, you can watch a basketball game on TV. You are 100% correct, but you still got to pay for that cable, big boy.
Yeah.
Not when you can steal your neighbors.
There you go.
There you go.
But all right. So yeah, I think that's going to be the close of the stream, guys. You know, once again, thank you all very much for coming, participating, both viewers and the guests. And guests, always, you know, you guys have a standing invitation anytime. You know, you see me doing this stream, even if Absolutely. you weren't specifically on for it. If you just pop in, I mean, feel free to jump in. You have the Discord anytime, and share your thoughts and ideas.
Thanks, Chief.
And that is going to be it. So next stream for me is going to be this Sunday. Oh, my Wednesday fun stream. So anybody that is looking for a little bit of fun gameplay, Wednesday 10 p.m. Eastern is going to be my next live stream. But you know, if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button, and if you liked the content here, please tell your friends about it. This show, especially the Sunday stream, is for the players. So please, you know, bring them all in here. Let them listen. And this show will also be added to iTunes and Podbean podcasts after the fact. But you know, please, you know, get the word out to people. And if you liked it, hit the like button. But until next time, Chief out.